Actually see how this is going to go. And our draft has begun. Boom! Such production value. Alright, so we see the heroes on the left. That's great. We'll see what our heroes, our captains want to ban. Feeding with Style, of course, hasn't chosen a captain yet there. Oh, there we go. Alex is all in good shape. So, Clockwork, Night Stalker, Doom, Chaos Knight, Undying, Magnus, Bristleback, Tusk, and Phoenix are strength heroes. Bloodseeker, Drow Ranger, Morphling, PL, Faceless Void, Clinks, Broodmother, Pog, Medusa, and Terrorblade are agility heroes, and CM, Puck, Windranger, Lena, Lich, Pugner, Rubik, Kotl, and Skyrath are in heroes. First ban going to be the Windranger. That hero is absolute ridiculousness. I'm sure they really don't want to see that in a captain's draft. Tom is clearly taking the Night Stalker out of the pool. That is one of our S tier offlaners. Very much playable by Tim. So really want to get that one out of the pool.
Ten seconds to go.
It's like Tusk, Phoenix, Undying as well. Like, I mean, there is no shortage of good supports. Like, Undying is a premium 5 apparently. I wish anyone could play it. And I wish it did anything ever. Tanking on our bans a bit here. Rubik the ban. Picked up. Blame the alcohol. That's fair. I wish I could blame how bad I was at Dota on alcohol. Well, the meta is this hero, Fulgrim. It's Terrorblade. It's one of his abilities. Makes him really big and hit things. Faceless Void the ban from Tom. It's a pretty good one right now. Chronosphere is always going to be good. Especially when you can't freely draft around, countering it or going into it, really.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds.
We're back to throwing high ground. We've never left. Chaos Knight taken out of the pool. I'm interested in that one. It's a bit less of an overtly powerful hero compared to the other two. I'm not sure that either team is respecting any of the Brood cheese pickers. I don't think Dan plays Brood. It's not one of the most insane heroes that I've seen come out of him.
10 seconds to go.
And we'll see what Tom wants the last ban here, and then we'll get onto the draft. And I think we're alright. It's 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1. Yeah. So the first pick and last pick on opposite sides. Otherwise, we're drafting 2 heroes at a time and seeing what's happening. PL is, yeah, I would agree with that. I'm sure Kira could play it. There's a lot of decent agility carries though. Like Morphling's going to be pretty good, Drow's going to be pretty good, PL's going to be pretty good. Tom chooses to take the PL out of the pool, so does agree with you more than most people, which is terrifying. We'll see how Feeding with Style want to kick off their draft with their first pick here. So once again, the heroes banned: Night Stalker, Faceless Void, PL, Windranger, Rubik, and Chaos Knight. Chaos Knight was about to say. Maybe I'm drunk as well, Felix.
Radiance pick.
Drow Ranger.
Drow is the first pick from Feeding with Style. Holy crap. That's a bold statement, to say the least. I would agree that Bristol is super good, and I think Tim is a very, very competent Bristol player. It's one of the first things I saw him play roll over a match with.
10 seconds to go.
Ambient vapors. Osmosis through the internet. The power of Germany.
5 seconds. Radiance pick.
Lena the pick. Very decent 4. I'm sure that Dan and Ewan can both play that very comfortably. Although we'll see what position Ewan's actually going to be playing. It's one of the more flexible teams. They've drafted in Dan to help them cover their mid player who's gone AWOL. But I mean, there's some very interesting compositions that Pail in comparison could actually draft up here in terms of their players. This captain's draft is actually really fast paced because, like, apart from the top up time they get per pick, there's only 1:30 left for Tom to make the rest of his draft actually work. There aren't really any break blade builders fucking hell in the pool, so Bristol is very appealing. I would agree with that. You get Tusk a break blade. That sounds great. There's not a lot of good break in the draft, I would agree with you. I think it's maybe a bit of a misstep to have left Bristle on the table here. Would have to be on Bloodseeker or Morphling or something. Lena Pugner sounds like a scary amount of burst. You're correct. Doom Ags is the only other option. I forgot that broke. Alright, Tom's just drafting like a family. Nice family draft here. Lena and Riley. Sisters forever, five ever. Doom is okay, but you have to make sure that your offlaner plays it. And like, unless you're Chris, Hero seems real bad right now. But this is Captain's draft and anything goes. Even first picking a Drow Ranger.
5 seconds.
I don't think Doom is ever really exciting.
Dyer's pick.
It just seems to stay there. Okay, so Alex does value the Undying a little bit. Interested in Undying. So Undying as the anti-strength boy into Lena Crystal Maiden is curious, because either your mid in your 5, your 2 in your 5, or your 4 in your 5. We'll see how they actually make it happen. Undying definitely does not suck balls right now. That is categorically untrue. Lich is the other support. So either way, there's a weird support here, or Nick snuck into the draft and wants to play something mid.
Ten seconds to go.
Lich is a good bristleback counter? I'm not sure how that works. Run that by me, Owen. I guess if he just stands in a chain frost, he might die, but he can run away at the speed of sound. Ah yes, gaze. You can pull him towards you and have him quill you more. I think Lich must be a 4 here, because if you play Undying in the 4 position, you are actually ridiculous. Okay, so I think this could be a 3 clockwork, could be a 4 clockwork, which would push Lena into the mid lane. I don't think this Crystal Maiden's going anywhere, but 5, Connor's not in the draft. Undying is definitely way better as a 5.
10 seconds to go.
Especially in the 5 position, you're more likely to encounter your strength lad. Although there aren't that many left to draft against. Maybe they're pre-picking the bristle into the bristle. Maybe they want to pick that up themselves. Like, I can see the Cloxium. I agree. Bloodseeker almost certainly are 1. Could be a 2, but then, yeah, if this is a 2, there's other weird problems. This could be 2 Bloodseeker, 3 Clock, 4 Lena, 5 Crystal Maiden, or it could be 1 Bloodseeker, 2 Lena, 3 Clockwork, 5 Crystal Maiden. There's a lot of flexibility in Tom's draft here in Pail in comparison. On the Radiant side right now. Sudsy Dota happens as Bloodseeker by sieging high ground very, very slowly with the reduced cooldown on Bloodseeker Silence. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. But that will be left to our people to play. So Bristleback is picked up by Feeding with Style. I think Tim is again one of the first heroes I saw him play was running over a game on Bristleback. I think it's pretty good here. They just picked up the Clockwork. The lanes are looking a bit squishy right now. I think you have Bristleback 1 maybe is possible, Drow 2. Or you put your Bristleback in the off lane, but I think that maybe incentivizes you to play around with the Undying. I'm not sure that's a good look. Are they going to do mid-Medusa and off-lane Bristle? Not sure. I like picking Medusa in current patch, or current year, or current Dota. But we'll see what pans out in the rest of the draft. So this is the last pick here for Competing with Style, and then ultimate last pick for Pail in comparison. So we'll see what they think they haven't drafted yet, and what Feeding with Style want to present to them. I would say that Feeding with Style need a mid-hero. So Puck is available, Sky is available, Pugner's available, Deuce is technically available, Brood's available. Clinks, I think that's the only real mid choices you've got. True, but I think you need Puck Ags to match the power of Bloodseeker BKB if you are going with that plan. It just feels difficult to find the damage. I don't know. Pugner is the choice. So we've got a lot of running at towers, and Pugner late game with those right clicks on the Drow is going to be pretty good. You'd want to play Magnus mid, Alex? In current year?
10 seconds to go.
I think you get blasted by Lena if you pick that, but
5
I'm
seconds.
willing to be proven wrong. So Tom is either going to show us his like 1k draft or his 10k draft. We'll see. I like this the flex currently. We'll just see if they can actually round it off in a way that deals with all the things. So I think Pugna Bristle is a scary combo, especially with the Drow to take some buildings, keep the lanes pushed. I think pushing your Lich to a 4 is kind of odd. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of that. And again, my opinion is that if you play Undying in the 4 position, you're actually griefing. 15 viewers on the IDL stream. Tusk is the last pick. Okay.
Some interesting choices there.
Some interesting choices there. I would agree with GLaDOS. Depends if they can keep the Bristle alive. Okay, so Kira I'm pretty sure is playing 1. Tim I'm pretty sure is playing 3. Sudsy I'm pretty sure is playing 1. Tom is going to play 5. Deathrow is going to play 4, which means the Clockwork... Dan Clockwork? Pog? That looks to be a 3. Which would leave Ewan on the mid laner. I think Smithy's going to play this 5 Undying, Alex is going to play this 4 Lich, and Nathan is going to be midding with this Pugna. I like this Lena set, it's pretty cool. Alright, so looks like everyone selected everything they want to do. I'm curious to see how this plays out, but it's a really cool draft so far. I think we have some very fast pushing style with the Diocide, and it's I agree with the comment in chat. I think it was Elizabeth who said that it's really a Radiance to lose after 20 minutes. It feels like they have so much strength in that Death Ball early, especially with the Drow to come online after she's been in the jungle for a bit. So let's get this show on the road. Did I even do the right thing? I did. Alright. Okie dokie. So let's introduce some teams. I'll press my observer button so I can actually know what I'm doing. I don't. Spoilers. Alright, so in the 5 position on the Radiant side, we have Tom playing the Crystal Maiden, supporting the Sudsy 1 position Bloodseeker, coming to lane with not a lot of regen, and a Quelling Blade. Fucking hell. And then in the mid lane, pretty sure we've got Ewan playing that Lena. And in the top lane, we're going to have this Death Row Ollie Tusk, supporting this Dan Clockwork, which I'm pretty sure is a core. Can't really... Yeah, it makes no sense for me for Tusk to be a core. And in the Dire side, we have this 4 Alex Sabata, Lich. He's coming to lane with a Sage's Mask. Side chop has been eviscerated and you can't buy a Ring of Protection there anymore, so the base is unavailable to him unless he uses Courier. That's going to be supporting the Tim 3 position Bristleback, the Nathan Lacanos Pugna in the mid lane, and up in our safe lane we're going to have Kira on the 1 position Drow, and Smith is going to be supporting that Drow with his Undying 3 Mangoes Salve Tangos. He's real ready to do some brawling. Can't do damage if you're dead. Fref with the Truth Bombs. Fref, as we know, the Season 14 unkillable God King of the Universe. We're going to watch these rune fights and see what's going to go on. Looks like the Cogs are going to pretty easily secure that. Down in the bot lane, the Radiant are going to secure those runes. So it's looking like it's going to be a pretty easy 3 rune trade for the Radiant side. And let's wander on over to some mid lane action for some Lena on Pugna. We'll see who can... do some good stuff. This Undying already has 8 strengths though, and I think it's going to need to go and bop the hell out of these players right here. Got 2 wards trading off. Smithy probably saw that or knows about it. We'll see. Alex is already stamping his ground. I'm not sure he's winning this trade, but Tom is getting the ward. 102 gold straight in the pocket. Health bars aren't going anywhere on the minimap, so... They did pick 2 strength heroes into Undying. You're correct. Undying needs to get some pretty good double decays off. But again, I'm not sure your power to really brawl... He has Ice Shards level 1, so maybe that was for the rune. But with Tag Team, I think you really lack the ability to actually brawl that lane, even if you do have the strength. Cog to get the rune. Tom is super out of mana. Does need to clarity up to find some stuff. Looks like Sudsy is doing his utmost. CM aura leveled. Smithy with still 8 stolen strength. I feel like he could have stolen more there. Maybe I'm Maybe I'm tripping. Tom has got that Frostbite, Arcane Aura, which looks like a Neon Disc to everyone else, just to fuck with people. Hashtag pay to win. Good to know by Ollie with the Tusk there in the top lane. Mid lane looks like it's trading pretty evenly. 7-0 compared to the 8-1 on the Lina. Does get the disarm. Tom. Okay, that's weird. I thought I saw Arcane Aura happen again. Would have been quite weird.
That belongs to me.
How's the Barrier Assault?
Haste.
Seen a bit of a dive in the bot lane here. Tim is diving tower. There's good Frostbite from Tom there on the CM. Taking a lot of damage. I'm not sure I should do anything. They do have another Frostbite in 2 seconds. Gonna find him here. It's gonna be First Blood.
Thanks and have fun.
Tom kills the Tim.
And it's already icing
Well played.
over.
And mid lane still pretty even. You and the 3 creeps hitting tower. Already a couple creeps up. Bit of an odd Dragon Slave there. Push the wave a little bit. So Tom with 1 trillion gold for support. Probably wants to wander over to that side shot, buy some stick and some boots. Be really fast. Does not get the pull off in the bot lane. Side pulls difficult. This game's really boring, team. I don't know what to do. "16 strength on this Undying. He's a fat boy. 1000 health on that. Yeah, going to be uncontested for 3 range creeps here in the bot lane for Tim. It's a little bit scary for Radiant, XP wise. I think Bloodseeker's going to favour the extended lane trades like this in Bristle if he gets onto him with these quills. But he's going to go out of mana pretty quickly. Has the 3 mangoes. So he needs to be really careful not to let these quills stack up. Does catch the CM. Very weird skill build from Death Row here. I would normally see this tag team prioritized really early. I guess if you have the Undying and you're set to not want to brawl this lane. It does go in on the Undying here. Noticing the strength is all over. Looks like pretty low on the Pugna in mid. So Dan's got cogs onto the Drow. They are just man-fighting. Tombstone is down. Smithy looks like he's probably going to die to the Death Row. Gets the salve off, well played. Dan does get the 100 million gold from killing something. We've got an engagement in the bot lane as well. So it looks like Bristle is going to be on those heroes. It's going to be a close one here from Dan. Does get it. I'm not sure how he gets away from the Undying here. Let's take a look at this bot lane fight. Sudsy's super fast because everyone's really low. I think he will get the, what do you call it here? The Bristle back. Goes for the deny, doesn't quite get it. Still fighting this Undying here. Doesn't actually have the damage to kill the low Bristleback. Sorry, the low Clockwork there. 5-minute runes are up. Tom's getting aggressive. He's going to get both of those bottom. Looks like Clockwork's going to get both of those tops. This could be 4 runes easily for the Dire here. Ewan's walking up with the bottle. Hopefully communicates that to his offlane and lets that happen. But Lich is on Tom bottom here, so he might trade some of his life for the runes. Tom should go for the deny here probably. Will get the last right click. Does get the stick off! And will fog him on the high ground.
Money to burn.
Beautifully played by Tom here. Gets the first bud. Gets the tranquils delivered. Needs to make sure that this courier doesn't get sniped by the Lich, but that's something that should never happen, I would assume. Yeah, phase boots onto the Bloodseeker. Might just be able to run down this Lich here if he has given enough time. Frost armor does come out. Yeah, early tomb is pretty awkward. I think this might be fucking on missing skills all over the place. Silence is down. Bristleback is going to get caught by this. Not sure he really cares. Take a look at the net worth real quick. Bloodseeker and Lina coming off to a really early lead. Didn't see mid lane actually going that favourably for Lina, but at 31 and 3 to 23 and 4. Does look like it's pretty good for that fiery Slayer. And up in the top lane we've got some cogs pushing people away. Look like more defensive. Ewan's bottled a regen. He's the best player in the world, as Dan would like to say, if he was ever playing mid. And yeah, it is a pretty big Radiant lead. At 6.5 minutes, 3k up is no joke.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
That looks like Sudsy's going to get chased down here. I'm not sure he can get out of this alive. He's got quills on him, he's got that blood rage going, so he's taking a bit more damage than normal. But Tom goes for the... Actually, I think that was. I thought it looked like Frost Crystal Nova, but it didn't actually do any damage or slow anything. He doesn't have it, so I don't know what that effect was on the ground. Tag team has been taken. Yeah, it is 7-1 on bounties. But it is a siege creep deny for Sudsy, so who's the real winner here? Level 6 on that Bloodseeker. Rupture, also no joke, since they nerfed it and then re-unnerfed it again. Bit of an overextension on the ice shards here. Like, Dan does look content to farm on this clockwork, but he's keeping pretty even with the drow.
Regeneration.
Ewan finally pops that regen in the mid lane. Rupture, I'm pretty sure does pierce BKB. Yeah, pure damage pierces BKB, can't be dispelled. I mean, Lina just seems to be a really absurd hero right now, from mid and from 4. Like, Pugnas should be getting damage on this tower, but it's actually like 100%. We'll see if this does actually happen. We can't decrep here. Ooh, beautifully played by the Lina there. I didn't quite see the cooldowns on the decrep, I assume it was off. But I think if he actually popped it, he would have died to either of those spells anyway. Well played by Ewan. Pick up that kill, up to 4k net worth at 8 minutes. He's going to take this game. Run with it in a bit. I think, no tips, this is a family-friendly zone. This fucking rocket flare looks really cool. There's a little rocket flares, I suppose. I think Ewan's just a very controlled player. He knows what he wants to do and normally does it quite well. Drum's been queued up for Sud. Tom wants wards and nothing else in his life. Here goes down the silence. Does find the bristleback, but I guess they won't be able to do much about that. Let's check some items. Basie Mango's branch for the Lich. Not a lot on the bristleback as they dive a little bit here. They rupture him. Can't move anywhere. Can't stay still. Well played by Sudsy there to get that rupture off. Looks like some action happening up top as well. Not anything fatal. But yeah, these two Radiant cores, the 1 and the 2, Ewan and Sudsy, they are both at 4.2k before 10 minutes. And it looks like Radiant have more than enough pressure to try and secure these 10-minute runes as well. And this mid tower for the Dire still not being pushed in, still still not actually found any damage on that. I think I have all chat turned off, so no toxic please, thanks. Sudsy's a bit on the wrong side of the map though.
Dire's bottom tower is under siege.
I think Tom was overestimating the length of that, the duration of that frostbite there. Not sure this is a fight that Radiant can win if they start it now. Good route. Need to walk away. Dan kills. I'm dying up top. They should be more than happy to get runes. Lina is joining the fight here at bottom. Doesn't quite have the range on that LSA before the Ether Lens. He's got 2.5k queued up. I mean, it's by Radiance, mate. Lacanos overrates Drow, I think. Been playing it recently, it's been rough. I think it's good on the right team, right? But it's never going to have a good time in lane. And its recovery mechanism in the jungle can be interrupted. But if you get to uninterrupted do a bunch of shit in the jungle, you come out, you're pretty scary. And while that's happening, you're really influencing your ranged heroes on your team. But I would agree with you. It's no Weaver, is it, Stephen? It's no Weaver. Alright, so that lead after the runes, which I think they look like they went for another 3-1 split. So we're currently 10 and 2 on runes, up to a 5k lead. I don't have a faith in Sudsy's ability to farm a 12-minute Radiance, considering it's 11 minutes and he has 800 gold. But, I mean, whatever you're happy with. Tim is running straight into the silence, but it's not actually going to do anything. Nathan finds a DD in the mid lane. Should get some damage on this tower now. Bop. That's such a bunch of damage. Why is that hero? Why does it exist? Ewan's farming some stacks up here.
Radiant structures have been
Might look to pressure the Drow out from under her tower. I think the Drow should be jungling right now, actually. 3 bans when the courier gets to her. This Pugna in the mid lane. It's being left alone to do exactly what he wants to do, which takes some early towers. I'm missing the kills. Chain Frost does peter out on Tom. Doesn't have any ones left. I think he needed to get to this Siege Creep and A-click it, but it's hard to find that in the moment. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a dive coming onto this Drow anytime soon. If they are ballsy enough. The Walrus Punch is up on the Tusk. Is this going to be a kill? That's an early decrypt. Right, Life Drain is out. Support TPs from both sides. Hook is in from Dan. It's big cogs here, but I'm not sure the Lina can actually come back. Right, Tom does not underestimate the amount of damage being done here. But I think this battery assault's going to run down the Undying. No problem.
Killing spree.
Down on the killing spree. 3-0. And 0. It's just coming in here in the mid. Sorry, the Freezing Field is down. Sudsy does have his Rupture up very, very soon. This Lich is in the wrong neighborhood. He's going to get beaten to death by a Sudsy, I'm pretty sure. Doesn't want to dive. I think that's reasonable. There is a dive happening up here, though. Dan is like straight in on that Drow Ranger. Finds the kill under tower. 4-0 on this Clockwork. 4.5k net worth, 200 above the Drow, having killed it. I think we see this lovely little pattern of Radiant Cores, Dire Cores, Radiant Supports, Dire Supports, and the net worth.
Dire's top tower is being attacked. Radiant's
The
bottom
Lich
tower
has
is being
an energy
attacked.
booster. Chain Frost is back up for any potential fight. I think Tom's going to find the illusion, or maybe
Dire's top
leave it.
tower is under siege.
Not sure what he's running towards. Just getting that tranquil regen, 19.4 mana. Sorry, health regen.
Dire's
At the
top
moment.
tower is under attack. Dire's
So yeah,
top
Drow has
tower
retreated to the
fallen.
jungle. Left the Undying alone with the lane. But this is a real problem, because you had Undying against a double strength lane, and you weren't able to cripple that lane. So it's going to be real hard to have an effective Undying hero at this point. Walrus Punch in, Shards in. Has the tag team, we'll get all the slows. Dan is going to come straight over. There is also a Drow here. Let's see if anything can be done. Okay. Oh, okay. There's some stuff happening here. I'm not quite sure what this hookshot was about, but Alex does find the kill on Dan. 2 kills for the Dire side, taking back another 700 gold or so. I would definitely agree with the lids up in the chat that this no boots Lich is an interesting approach, but does have the arcane boots now, having picked up some lovely kill money. DD on the Crystal Maiden. I'm not quite sure who's that low. Lich and Undying are both quite low, giving Sudsy some movement speed. Let's see how these mid towers are doing. 65% compared to 42%. Again, the Pugna's been taking the space when Lena's been leaving lane to get some damage on that tower. What does Bristle have now? It's very quick. Bristle has Ring of Health phase. Working on that. Is it yeah, it's Vanguard. Working on the Vanguard. Not sure that's the best item in the world right now, but I think it's what you need to be a bit more tanky. 50-minute runes are up now. It looks like this is going to be a more even trade, probably 2 and 2 from the positions of these heroes. Although Death Row is going to run straight across the river, which I think this Undying should definitely have done. And the runes are going to trade 3 and 1 again, so I think it's 13-4. Sorry, 13-3 on our rune watch. A little bit of an unfortunate catch there. Good force from Dan. But, oh my goodness, the Tusk is in. It's a big rocket flare onto 3. I'm not sure it's going to be good enough here. Enough ranged heroes with the Drow Aura to take him down. Yeah. No one's smoked yet, so we can't unveil our new sick production value features. I think Sudsy's going to prioritize some damage on this mid tower now.
Radiant has fortified its structures.
Another gander at the damage, the net worth. You still see those Dire Cores on top. Sorry, there's Radiant Cores on top. I can't speak. Ewan's TP'd into 3. There is a Nether Ward around. He could just be dead here. Good Yules on himself. Dan has to do something here magical. There's a great force stuff from Dan onto Ewan. There's cogs onto 3. This is going to be huge. The Chain Frost is, however, huge. Also, Ewan finds the Laguna Blade from the backlines. Does chuck the Chain Frost onto Tom, which is not a great look. Bounces between the supports 4 or 5 times. I think Dan's going to find Alex here. This should be a battery assault anytime soon. Bop. That's a great fight for the Radiant here. 4 kills for 0. Up 6k. That was an absolutely great cogs. It looked kind of dodgy at the end there with the Nether Blast from Pugna and the Chain Frost from Lich on top of it. But there was more than enough damage from the laner and from the Clockwork himself. Not to mention the big boy Ollie Rowe and his snowball. Finding some decent stuff here. There are some stacks here for the Drow, which they probably want to take away. Tom is probably shouting that at his team right now. I think they might be. He's actually going to go for the freezing field on these stacks. What a support. He stacks the camp in the freezing field, takes all of the money. Wow, what a player. And the unfortunate TP back onto the shrine where 4 heroes are waiting for him. Doesn't even need to commit the Walrus Punch there, he's super dead. Bloodseeker is getting all the free farm in the world, 2 levels up on his lane opponent, has that Sacred Relic, will be looking more like an 18-minute Radiance than a 12-minute. Sorry, Mike, but looks like everything is going just according to plan for the Radiant side here. 10 kills up and 7k gold up at 16, 17 minutes. I know it's legit, but I love to see it, especially from the like sacrificial 6 support that Tom plays. Big fan to get that boy some money. They're pushing top as 4 here. Look at all this stuff being bought by the supports here. Glimmer Cape and a Tome. The fact he can afford that is outrageous. The farming ice shards here from the supports, which are super greedy. I love it. There are 4 heroes sitting in this bot lane. They're not going to respond to this top push at all. But I don't think they can. And ironically, with the Pugna Bristleback, it is the Radiant team doing the death balling. 4 heroes running at this tower, and I'm pretty sure there's just nothing they can do. On the dire side, looks like Raddy is 1 camp away from being finished. Let's get the timing on that. He's buying that Radiance at 18 minutes, 18 seconds. He's going to get that delivered anytime soon, and I don't think there's going to be any problem taking this tower up top. This is the CM I aspire to be. Alright, whoever drafted Fref this season needs to sit down with him.
Dire's top tower has been destroyed.
The hero positioning is super weird right now on the map. There are 4 heroes in each other's jungle, and we're going to see what this Bloodseeker's going to run into, because he's getting his Radiance delivered anytime soon, but he really doesn't want to get caught here, and he knows that there should be probably about the same number of heroes that his team have up top in this lane waiting. There's some here from the Pugna. They should get some TPs here onto the tower. Let's see if that actually happens. No TPs currently. Bloodseeker gets the Radiance delivered. I'm going to zoom out a bit.
The Nether reaches out.
Alright. Alright, the Tusk walks into 5 heroes. Lina is staying top. Clockwork is staying top for, I guess, some stacks. Not stacks, I guess some camps. The tower, maybe. This is an odd positioning from the Dire here, because they're not getting the tower, and they're spending a lot of time with 5 heroes here. I'm interested to see if the Radiant are going to punish this by just not being here, or if they're actually going to walk here with a few more heroes. Try and fight this. Pugna is going to fight that tower a little bit with another blast. Ewan's going to walk up this hill. It's scary. Gets dusted by one of the supports over here. Shadowblade is done on that lane, and I think they know the Dire... Okay, Chain Frost has been kicked out there. Dan 4 staffs away. Beautiful only gets 1 actual bounce on that. Goodbye, Lich. Hope you enjoyed your time here in the jungle. Dan is playing the Clockwork. He's playing that from the 3 position. And he's fucking crushing it. 7-1 and 3. 6.5k net worth. Does see a Regen rune in the river on the way. Probably should go grab some of these actual runes. Looks like this one's going to be a 2-2 split if Nathan wants to get both these up top. He is going aggressively for this rune. So I can't count this high, but I'm pretty sure it's like 15-5. 15-5? Yeah, I think 15-5 on runes. So there's a lot of money in the Radiant pocket from those bounties. Hurricane Pike onto the Drow. Tome of Knowledge onto the Undying, just to keep everyone updated. Not watching anything right now, I can hear some Bloodseeker silences. Tom's team is Tom, Sudsy, Deathrow, Ewan, and Chesko, Goon, but Chesko's not around right now, so it looks like Ewan's playing mid and Dan's playing 3 because he doesn't ever get to. Tom needs to get himself into a decent position, probably ult. He's getting that ult off pretty... That is a good ult. It's a really good ult. There's no stuns on this team. They can't dive the backline. Tim's going to have to stand here in that entire freezing field.
Thanks for playing Dota 2. Double kill.
And then Ewan can clean up here. Ollie is going super ham, which I think is the only mode that Ollie has. It's going to be a clean 5 for 1. Just giving up their Clockwork to get 5 kills. And they're going to push this mid tower in with absolutely 0 problems.
Dire's middle tower is under siege.
So Dire are under some real pressure now. They're 23 and 8 down in terms of kills. They're 12k net worth down, and there are heroes running at their tier 3s at 21 minutes. And they are the ones with the Pugna Bristle, once again to reiterate. Sadie does have his Radiance and the drums there as a small item. He's going to have this BKB in just about 1k gold. I think this tower is going to be pretty forfeit, and the Undying, if he chooses to walk up, will also be. But it doesn't look like they want to go for that. They probably want to back off, get some shrines. And I think the patient shot calling of Tom will be exactly what they want to listen to at this time. Don't overextend. Don't throw high ground, because that's what the casters will meme on you for. Yeah, I think the Dire top lane, as chat is rightly pointing out, is one of the harder ones here. The Clockwork Tusk not getting punished by that Undying. We do see, look at the smoke. Look, you see, stream, look, there's a smoke icon here. That's amazing. He's smoked. So we have this brand new smoke overlay coming out from Lonely Cat from Aiden. It's working pretty well, and I even can see it. That's sweet. Pog. Okay, it's gone now. This season 14 is getting off to a great start. I'm really sad that not enough people were around to see the start of the show. But I'm sure I can get a clip of that when it comes out next time.
I'm a supercomputer and I barely understand what's happening right now.
What do you mean? It's getting to lane faster, Smoke. 15% movement speed, my dude. Clock is going for the Ags, which I'm not surprised by at all. He's having a great game. He wants to get those hook shots, wants to get some styling done. Let's stop pressing buttons like a moron and just go and watch the Bloodseekers, because that's what the action's going to be. By Bloodseeker I mean, of course, Lena. Tim is very in a bad position. Okay, LSA does not connect. Bit of an old build from the Lena here. Yule's into Shadowblade. I'd want to see the Ether Lens somewhere in here, but he's going for the Travs into the Breakblade, I guess, for the Bristle. They are probably scared if that goes anywhere near the mid-game. They might actually have to do something about it. But 15k net worth up, I'm thinking he can build whatever he wants. Double stun, Rupture's out. It's going to be... Oof. Full stuff, not what you want to do to... what do you call it, Rupture target. It's going to be some supports trading off some... Okay, great Glimmer Cape from Tom to stop his support dying when he walks into him with the Chain Frost. And there's some diving up here that I don't know. It's Tusk 1v3. Is Ollie the unkillable Death King of the Universe? God King of the Universe, whatever I called him last time? He is not. I think this is a bit overstaying from the Lena, but the Shadowblade will get her away. Gust is absolutely nonsense, but well, less said about that the better. Gonna go grab the other shrine here. LSA chuck down to get some Fiery Soul stacks for the Arcane Rune. Love it. And there's gonna be those 25-minute runes coming up soon, in about 20 seconds. We'll see. We'll see Rune Watch and how that goes to pass. But yeah, there's a tower down, shrines down at before 25 minutes for this Radiant team, so they're doing pretty well. I'm sure they've been more than happy with their performance so far.
Regeneration.
Aetherland's done on the Lich. That's interesting. That's not an Aghanim Scepter. What's he doing? This is why my win rate on Lich is awful. Runes are up. Let's see. Ewan's going to bottle that bounty rune. Hopefully use it again at some point. 2 runes currently, and Tom's going to pick up TP. Didn't pick? No, he mustn't have TP. He's coming this way. There's a Radiant side. This is going to get another 4 runes, and I think that's 19 and 5 or something in terms of bounty runes. Does that even add up to the correct number? I'm pretty sure it doesn't. 24. 24 is a multiple of 4. Let's go. Production value. Tom has a blink. Tom is playing 5 CM and he has a blink. That's how you know this game's gone all the wrong way. I think he's going to get absolutely fucked up by this Pugna. And that's exactly what ends up happening. Let's get the silence, but won't be able to stop him from TPing. Finds another ward though. I guess that's something. 80 gold straight in your pocket. I expect Tom to be building a BKB anytime soon. Yeah, there it is. He wants to do some nasty things. And there is absolutely nothing that anyone can do to him with a BKB freezing field. There's an easy top if this team ever wants to look at Roshan in their lives. Bloodseeker's just finished his BKB, so has Ratty BKB drums with a Quelling Blade, Phase Boots, Wraithband to finish off his little item set. Straight to Lena. Lena has a bottled bounty rune, saving that money up for when it's relevant, I suppose. And a Yule's Trav's Shadowblade, queuing up the Breakblade for the Bristle. As we just discussed, that CM is building into the Blink BKB. Death Row has his Urn, is working on a Shadow Blade of his own. I guess another Break Blade there for the Walrus Punch. That's pretty fun times. And I think Dan is still building towards the Aghanim Scepter, about 1200 gold off finishing that. Let's have a look at the dire side, which I'm sure is going to be a bit more depressing. Force Staff is queued up on the Lich, who's built an Ether Lens already. Nathan has his Ether Lens and a Force Staff and a Bottle, working on BKB. The Undying has his Mana Boots and is working on a Medallion. Tim has his Hood, working on the rest of a Pipe with a Vanguard and bits of a mech, I think. Is Headdress in Pipe? Might be. Sudsy's just gone and done some Roche. I'll look at these items. No one cares about that. Let's see if I can... I'll get the Roche timer at some point up. There's more production value. We don't want to reveal it all at once. There's a hero I haven't looked at. I guess it's the Drow. Hurricane Pike Yasha into the BKB. Tread's finished on that hero as well. But we'll see if there's anything to be done about this high ground push as your Radiance BKB, fresh BKB, walks at your tower. And then, I mean, Naked Rack's tower, whatever. The Headdress is in Pipe. I don't know about the item. I'm not an offlane player. Sorry to everyone I've played offlane with. This Bristle is very much not tanky. Oh, that's... okay, that was a good Nether Ward placement. And gets the decrep on the Tombstone. Really well played. But I think Sudsy's going to use his first life here. Dan's going to run some interference. Kira's brought back on the Drow. Kind of need to deal with this Tombstone. Sorok does get it, but it's not going to be enough. Silence onto the Tusk. Sudsy is just unstoppable, as the game says. Running around like a moron. Getting exactly what he needs to do done. But there's a lot of damage coming up from this Nether Wards. Again, really well placed. I don't think you can actually cast any spells without dying. We'll see if he needs to with those fiery soul stacks. I think this is a high ground throw here into the Pugna. Oh no! Oh no!
That was unreal.
Oh, we got the kill. He just got on the Drow here, I assume. Unless he wants to Tokyo Drift his way out of here. Okay, so that was a bit throwy from the Radiant side. They're still up 18k gold. They've lost 4 heroes in exchange for 2, and the Drow buyback. So the trade is not super uneven, but yeah. I think this Nether Ward placement here from Lakanos was absolutely perfect. It caught, I think, both the Laguna Blade and the Freezing Field from Lina and CM respectively, and did a shitload of damage to them, and he was able to zone them basically off, approaching the high ground from this direction the entire time with some Nether Blasts. Yeah, Sudsy remembered he was Sudsy for a moment and it all went to pot. Smokes! Pog! Production value! 4 smokes, 4 icons! This is the most excited I've ever been. Thanks, Aiden. So we're seeing the smoke into the Radiant bottom jungle from 4 heroes. And I'm not sure they're going to find anything. They do scan ahead, see if they want to find anything, or can find anything. But they are pretty much going to whiff unless Tom goes to this tower. They don't have any vision up here, but they know that now. And they will probably see the CM on this tower showing on the wave. They're going to dive her for sure, pick up something for their troubles. But it's not going to be... Ooh, good glimmer. Dust does happen. Sudsy's TPing into this. I think they need more than that.
Oh, pardon my quills.
Pardon my quills. Unbelievable. Alright, so they find the CM, but they do trade that for the Undying. Which again, for your 4-man smoke play is not good, I think. But Sudsy really doesn't need to be here anymore. They're going to lose this tower. He's just going to get gazed if he walks here. Gaze is off. Very short duration though. It's only level 2. 1.9 seconds. Plus the status resistance, I assume there's some there? No? Someone in the chat will tell me. Yeah, they didn't force the BKB, did they? This is the BKB that was up from the high ground. Pugna's not here, so they can just kind of run out with this
Regeneration.
Bloodseeker, get some stuff done. And the net worth has told the same story all game. This Bristleback's hella poor, and the other cores from Dire are pretty far behind.
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
Tom with the Blink D Ward, Tokyo Drift Pog plays that we see from the supports. 20k the net worth lead now from the Radiant team. We're looking forward to them seeing how they can illustriously throw this lead away by diving high ground a few more times. They did get the range tracks when they walked up for it, but it's not a great place to find yourself if you're Ollie Rowe. He's done with the Shadow Blade, working towards the break. Dan is done with his Ag, so this hookshot is on a 12-second cooldown, which is one of the more fun abilities in the game to play with. And this CM is about 2k from this, right? This is 40-50, yeah. Tom correctly identifies there's nothing that can stun him. So does get a pretty decent engage. Kira is dead on the Drow. Buyback has come out from the Lich. Undying is going to die here almost accidentally. The Chain Frost is good, but Lich is going to die in the backline. Dan might die himself here, and he's going to die to the Nether Blast, but the partner's going to get himself deaded.
That was unreal.
Well played by you, and there no mana left to do any actual spells, so he decided to just right-click the hero to death. Undying and Pugner both buy back. There's quite an aggressive TP out from Nathan here on the Pugner. Just to tilt you, Chris, I'm pretty sure that's why. That's just how I used to play League and other MOBAs, so I've just gotten used to it. I'm sorry that it tilts everyone. We'll see that fight recap there. Lots of buybacks losing gold. 3 buybacks for the Dire side. 1 death in Dan on the Radiant side, up 10.5k XP and about 2k gold. The lead is up to 24k. Oh, sorry, I thought it was Chris's name. It was actually Tim. Face. You haven't told me to fuck you, so I didn't know what was happening. Chris's Twitch name is something fucking dumb as well, right? Something as edgy as yours, Tim. Some sort of pervert, if I remember correctly. This feels bad, man. I feel like I need to flip the stream. Hang on. Alright, I hope this makes everyone happier. And good luck and have fun.
Invisibility.
Can't be dealing with that shit. Alright, let's look at some data. Alright, BKB is done on the Pugner. Working on... He's got a Dagon 1. He's going to work on that. Dagon 2 even, right? He's going to work on that Dagon 5. That will be deleting some heroes, I'm sure, if he can find them. I think Nathan is the only one holding this game together. He's got all the gold, and he's got this high ground defense pretty well set up with the Nether Wards. So as long as he gets a decent one of those down, the Lina and the CM are a bit taking out the fight. But I think CM is not yet done with her...
Killing spree.
Hang on. Big silence there from the CM. Lots of stuff bouncing around. I can't follow this fucking fight. What's going on? Alright. 2 for 2 at the moment, but 3 for 2 at the moment. I don't think Dan is going to get out of this one alive. So it's going to be 4 for 2. And they still haven't gotten the building. So we'll see what actually happens here. Triple kill onto the Drow. Gets a lot of gold there. A lot of XP as well. Yeah, another 3k gold into the pocket of the Dire side. Lots of abilities used here as well. Hookshot is not really a cooldown. Freezing Field got silenced pretty quickly, I think. I'm not sure what by. Have a look at that in a minute. And then BKB is used on both sides. Pipe, Chain Frost, Flesh Golem, kind of thing. What was the silence? I assume it was Gust. Wait, there's no other silences I can see, right? Fucking toxic chat. Classic Chris comment, smiley face. So yeah, not a great high ground attempt for Radiant. I think they want to probably walk on some other towers before they try and get some racks, because they are getting pretty messed up by trying to walk up this thing repeatedly. I'm not sure the Nether Ward was even much of the problem there. They really did dive a little hard. They kind of fluffed the CML, and I think they need to not go in before that BKB is done. So Tom has retreated to the jungle to farm that up. And I think the Blink BKB Glimmer Cape Freezing Field will be pretty effective, especially on a 10-second BKB. And I would definitely agree with that assessment. Tim wants this... I'm not sure if you want to get the Nether Ward damage if you're already in your high ground defense, but maybe Nether Blast damage is just too big to give up. I honestly don't know what talent you take on Pugner, so if any Pugner degenerates in the chat want to fill me in on that one, I'll be more than happy to listen. Let's take a look at some other stats. Hero level is what I want to see. Alright, Lich, Undying, Bristle, really low. Supports. Lina's already 25, which is terrifying. I think they want to go Roche to try and stop themselves from dying every time they want to walk up this high ground. Let's go back to net worth. Right. Next time the high ground, I'm just going to play the fucking Benny Hill theme and you'll all see. Nobody who plays Pugner knows how to type. Jesus Christ. Oh, Walrus Punch in. Look at that fucking damage with the Break Blade. Alright, so Ollie Rowe just decided he'd walk up there with a Break Blade, Walrus Punch the fuck out of a Lich, and meanwhile his team's secured Aegis. There's a hook shot in from the Clockwork. BKB forced onto the Pugna? Alright, this is bad for the CM because she didn't get to do anything. Had the full BKB there, really should have used that, I think. Maybe just try to re-engage a bit later with the Glimmer Cape and the ult. But again, this is not a good high ground attempt. This is just, it's all kind of going tits up already. The talent chosen by the non-typing Pugna player wasn't there the last damage. And they've again gotten a clean 3 for 0 on the high ground attempt because this Lich was picked off way before. So yeah, the lead, after taking Roche and getting all this farm in the interim, the lead is still only staying at 20k. So, that's what we're seeing in this kind of game. Dagon 5, I think, completed for the Pugna. There's only 3. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Yeah, I think I'm agreeing with Tim in the chat here. A few more high ground throws, and this Pugna is definitely going to be much more of a problem. They do have Aegis here. They didn't lose that on Sudzi. They weren't able to leverage that effectively. Especially with the CM needed, I think, to just try and re-engage past the Pugna BKB after that was popped. But obviously you don't want to use those long BKBs if you're not going to get anything off it. I don't think he's actually used it yet. So 3 to go. Let's get a counter on the stream. Right, Smoke has been popped onto 3, onto Lich, Drow, and Bristle. They're going to look for this probably same play. I think they have scan up if they want to try and scan the area they're going to go again. And they might accidentally find this CM hero. Which is... okay, she decides not to go down there. I'm not sure... okay, this is a Dire Ward, so it's not going to see anything for Raiden anyway. Yep. I think what happened is the Clock found a rather ambitious hook onto the Pugna, and they kind of were forced to go on that. Is that Tim having dust? What a core player. And they kill the CM, no buyback. They're pretty free. I think Rocket Flare onto 5. That's something, I suppose. Fights are easier if your Clockwork doesn't jump in 1v4 and your CM hits her buttons. This is why Chris is a like 12k MMR player just smurfing in our bracket. That's what's happening. Well, she doesn't die there. I think she's walking away with a Glimmer Cape at this point. She's like here, maybe, right? I think this fight here, she probably could have BKB'd, but I'm not sure she would have gone away from the Bristle just punching her in the face. So...
invisibility.
18 viewers, big pog. I mean, it remains to say that you're using a 10-second BKB charge, and by the time you back up, your BKB will be as well. So it really has to be that you're not a big fan of using that large cooldown. There's a fight going on here. They find Dan and Sudzi, but I think Drow is just going to get beaten to death. Rupture does pierce the BKB, remember, but Sudzi is going to die with the Aegis already. It's going to be a big pogs, big cogs here if he can find it. No, they're dead already. Oof, this is a rough one. This is basically high ground. But Sudzi is doing a lot of damage and the Radiance is coming out. This Drow is gonna die. Alright, this is good. Drow does have the buyback though, so if they continue to engage here, she probably should buy back and fight it. But let's zoom out a little bit. It's good silence onto the Bristle back. I'm not sure that actually happened. BKB is down on the CM, she's just going to die. Feared away from being able to use any kind of buttons there. Drow has the buyback. Or Drow used buyback, who knows whether she had to or not. Don't think that's really the case. Alright, so after all this time, we still see that that lead at about 20k. So nothing has moved despite 2 Roche attempts and like 6 high ground attempts. This melee racks is still standing, no other tier 3s have gone down, the shrines were taken at like 20 minutes. This is a really hard high ground, apparently, for the Radiant team. This Pugnet is really making their lives a misery, and I think the amount of space that Dire are able to find in this half of the map is really going to claw them back into this game, make it much harder, catch up this Bristle. He's going to find the Halberd real soon, so that's going to be something for the Bloodseeker after the BKB is worn down. BKB is at 6 seconds on that Bloodseeker, so it's really starting to get more relevant. He's going to get some... I might have been serious about this. Right, off the Undying. There's going to be a crest coming out eventually. There's an SMY on the Drow. Not sure I like that. BKB on 8 seconds and a Hurricane Pike as well. Might want to see some of those Manta or something like that just to try and get out of these stuns from Ellis. Or not stuns, but some of the stuff roots maybe. Those disarming roots from the CM, if they do manage to find her, are pretty savage. Tom is also going for a Halberd. What 25 will Drow take? Steven! You're a core player. Do you want, I assume, some... None of your other heroes are doing much. You want the cooldown reduction on Gust, right? Probably. And then your Hurricane Pike and your Manta when you eventually buy it, I assume. But again, I do not categorically do not play Drow. I'm not scummy like that. What is Dire's icon? I can't see it from this screen. Okay, I should just go look at it, can't I? Don't know who that is. I hope you were able to identify it from that time. Right, MKB is going to be the choice for the Bloodseeker. I assume the Drow has a dodge, or wants them soon, but she's actually going for a Satan. Dan is pretty underleveled now, as it turns out. He's not been able to find that XP. Both supports, I think, they have XP talents, or at least have been doing stuff other than Hookshot. You're going to find Smithy here? This is a pretty ambitious play from the CM. She's ahead of all of her team into the high ground, trying to find an Undying. It's a hard kill. The Fear insta-cancelled, so that's going to be down for a bit. They could go on that, but I don't think anyone's near closer enough. Their cores are all back here. Oh, it's Milk, okay.
Boom, there it goes.
Dagon 4 completed for the Pugna. I hear another Sinstigaze going in. Right, Clockwork has backed off with the Glimmer Cape and the Force Staff, and the Blade Mail and the everything. Dan is keeping these side lanes pushed while they posture around this mid. The Rocket Flare is going to be pretty good for keeping that done.
Dire's top tower is
I just don't know how they break this high ground, really. They've gotten everything they need to outside the base. They just can't find anything inside the base. Even getting this melee racks would be huge. Pushing that lane up with the super creeps, or whatever they're called before they're mega creep. Quite possibly. Buybacks looks like... Let's select this. So we've got Lich and Drow down for the Dire side. Everyone else seems to have it up, except Dan, but I don't think that buyback's going to be super relevant anytime soon. 45-minute runes are up, so I want to back off to get those, but it doesn't seem like a huge priority anytime soon. There's a ambitious Ice Shards in, but nothing's going to follow up on that.
This'll come in handy.
For the twins.
Does this have an XP tag? Yeah, 40% XP. Pretty sure CM either has one or took one. CM just with the books, I assume. The thing about Alex here is I think there's going to be a talent eventually when he gets there about the HP regen. It's going to be pretty insane on the Bristle, on any tower, on the Drow, on the Pugner even. It's going to be big, but he's quite a fair bit off it. He's not getting any XP along with his Undying and his Bristle in the base. Tom is pushing up this bot lane, hoping to get some damage on the tower for free, I assume. They're just trying to like siege everything, I guess. That's their plan. But it looks like they're just bringing some waves to the Dire side, from where I'm seeing. 25k is the gold lead, so they are accruing gold. They are getting money towards their buybacks, they are buying time. They are getting more items. I don't know what they can actually achieve without a fight starting. Is anyone building the Dream Hammer? No. The crest. Oh, there's a hook in, but it misses. Ewan is just slow sieging this tower top with Fiery Soul, which I think is what he really needs to be doing. Just need to get that before they can actually do anything more ambitious. Satanic is finished onto the Drow. So that's going to be the 1v1 fight between her and the Bloodseeker is going to be much different. The Halberd finished on the Bristleback. Sudsy is keeping this wave pushed in. There's a little skirmish with the other three heroes down here, but what I think I'm really interested in is this Bloodseeker Lina push. Tower down to about 20%, 19% health. With just a slow push, but it does look like the Dire Cores have responded to this a little better than they were doing. Lina Bloodthorn bought outright. It's going to come on the courier soon. That's going to be huge for the after BKB living potential of this this Pugna. That Black King bar, BKB down to 6 seconds already. That is true. You can't say they didn't get a range rax. Was the cooldown reduction taken by the Drow, if anyone was following that? Another blast damage on the thingy. I assume Ewan took the Dragon's Glaive. Oh, the attack range, obviously. The slow siege, pretty good on that one. Sudsy's going to solo Roche. He's got some damages at least. Should be able to Bloodthirst his way back up. Blood Rage his way back up. What the fuck? This is not the fight you want. Your team's doing Roche. He's got the Glimmer Cape. Well played by Tom to get that onto him. Oh, it's actually the Break Blade. Never mind. Fuck you, Tom. Dan needs to find some farm, I think. I'm not sure if his talents are actually any good. Magic Resistance might be pretty good against the Pugna. Do we have an Aghanim Scepter actually on the Roche? We'll see where that goes. I assume that's going to be picked up by the Lina. The pure damage is pretty great.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
When did that go? Does have it in his inventory. What does fucking this do? 2 charges? Yeah, I do agree the Bloodseeker wants an AC. He did take the Aghanim Scepter for himself, but the Tusk did get a bit impatient. Don't see his body right now. I guess it's this, not the ward probably. He does appear to be dead. So they have the Aegis. They have the 2 Ruptures on the Bloodseeker. Again, they can get that onto the Drow and the Pugna, no problem, through their BKBs. But they need to force them to move, and that's the thing I don't think they can actually do. This tower is still where we left it. I think Lina needs to head on up there. Gave the cheese to the Clockwork. I guess Lina already had her own eggs. That's interesting. There's long BKB still up for the Lina. All the Radiant buybacks are ready. The Drow doesn't have hers for want of 800 gold, but I think she'll get that by the waves very soon. 50-minute runes are coming up very soon as well. This has been a fucking, long game considering the start that we saw. As was pointed out in the chat, 20 minutes tier 3, 50 minutes still fucking nothing. But yeah, the tower goes down there. Well played by Ewan when Nathan's basing or not looking, not pay attention. Get that tower for free. It was a nice slow siege undertaken by the Radiant team. I think they've realised they can do that. I think the Lina just needs to go where the Pugna isn't, but the Pugna's job is going to be to chase her around forever and ever. So I think go grab yourself a drink, team. We're going to be sitting here for a while. Oh, he's got a bed. That's only 9. I guess I can stay up for you guys. Good thing it's only a best of 2. 4 runes again for the Radiant. I've stopped rune watching for the last 40 minutes, but I assume it's 68 and 3 or something. Very few runes taken this game for the Dire. 36k the net worth lead after that tower top went down. See if we can get some more action for you in the next couple minutes. But the Radiant team seem very insistent that's not going to happen. I think they want to get this crest bought from the secret shop and get that onto their Lina ASAP. So you can get some more Rexes. Sorip is doing a bunch of healing now actually. Damage, heal per unit 43. Lina going for the Nullifier. Assume that's for the Pugner. It's a pretty decent item with the attack
Dire's
range.
bottom tower is being attacked.
Okay, they're trying finally to go onto these racks, but there's a shitload of damage gets pumped in. I think this is Tom's opportunity to BKB. There's the freezing field. That's a huge one.
Dire's structures have been fortified.
This is immense. We'll die on the Crystal Maiden. They need to buy back some heroes here, or things are just going to die for free. Tim is dead to the last right click from the Lina. Godlike on that Lina. 10, 1, and 8. I didn't realize how much he was kicking it. Sodzy is still alive with an Aegis. Does get that big heal. Oh, there's the Laguna Blade from the Lina. He's going to right click the crap out of this thing, you know. These heroes are very low health and very in. I think the Satanic from the Drow is doing a lot of work. She's got the BKB up now. Sodzy needs to get the fuck out of that. But he's trapped in his own cogs. Doesn't think to deny them. So let's see, how many buybacks was that? That was 3 buybacks so far in this fight. So 2 deaths for 3 currently. And they've gotten that, I mean, another ranged Rex. I'm not sure they're super happy with that. In the backlines, though, Dan finds Nathan. This is huge as a pickup. The Bloodseeker is dead. The Lina is still alive and is trying to, I guess, do the same thing. Bottom, the tower is nearly dead there too. Bloodseeker has brought back. That's aggressive. That's fuck. This is all aggressive. I guess they're playing around the fact that they think that Nathan's buyback is down. It is not down. So this could be potentially game ending for the Radiant if they fuck up this fight, but they really need to not. Hookshot onto the Lich, maybe? They just want the racks. They're being pretty patient here. Nathan is holding onto his buyback for a long, long time. There is the buyback. There's the Train Frost as well. Train Frost whiffs onto no one. There's a less good freezing field from the CM. They get the racks. Oh, Death Row had the Walrus Punch, didn't find either of these supports. They're on super low health. Finds the cogs into 2 heroes. Sudsy's trying to map click away. Oh, the good. That was a fucking great field. The Radiant may well have just thrown this. They have 5 heroes alive with the Drow. I don't know what can be done here.
Mega kill. I'm not reading this.
So they have the sisters buybacks, but they do not have the buyback of the Bloodseeker or the Tusk. And I think it's time for the Dire to just run down mid. I think that was supreme control from Nathan, holding his buyback that long, and I think that was a bit of impatience from the Bloodseeker and the Tusk. I'm not sure if that call was made by the team or by them themselves. That's an extremely dangerous position to take. I don't know, with the Decrep forcing a BKB, there's a whole lot of things that can happen. Clockwork is 25 now, has that battery assault interval talent. I just don't see how they can hold. They need to buy back. They can't just have thrown in the towel here, right? They maybe need to defend tier 4s and hope they really overextend. Lina has bought back now. They do have a fort, they're going to use it. The glyph is used. It's a nice LSA. But the Satanic and the BKB popped onto the Drow. She's going nowhere. Disarm onto the Lina. Dan's dead. Has the buyback. Ewan forced to pop the BKB and walk away. The rest of their team is up in 30. I think Illidep is right in the chat. They can probably hold this unless they go directly for tier 4s right now. I'm not sure. They are doing so. The glyph is down. They know that. The Lina Laguna Blade is down also. There's a BKB pop that I can't see. There's a huge BKB from Tom. He is forcing them away. Lina might be able to find some other heroes in here, but she can't cast any spells because the Nether Ward is huge. It is dead. No buyback. They're going to have to fight here for their base, I assume. Dan is dead, no buyback as well. Bloodseeker is up with the Tusk. Tom is dead. Sorry, Tom is alive, but no BKB, no mana, no freezing field. Suds is going to have to do a hell of a lot here to get out of this game. But he is moving at the speed of actual sound. Dagon 5 finds him there. Huge roll from Tusk. Tusk is huge. Holy Christ. Tusk just solo won them this game. Holy crap.
Killing spree. More than 2 kills.
The fantastic roll through literally everyone to find the Lich on the backline by the Tusk. Ollie, God King of the Universe row. Only the Lich is available to buy back. 16 high ground throws back to back. And Sudsy's traversing into the base. He's going to find this tower. He's going to find whatever he wants. The Chain Frost goes out. I think he doesn't have the BKB, but he should. Oof. Oof. This game, Death Row. Ollie Death Row. The savior of Pail in comparison. Holy crap.